what the hell is this? I'm like shaking my head. I'm like, why is the camera moving? What the hell's going on with this camera? Jesus Christ, I'm about to throw up. I'm like, what's going on? Oh my God, I'm gonna puke right now just looking at this thing, man. How do we turn this thing off? Oh, Al getting weirder by the day. It's an omen of things coming. I tell you. I see here. I don't care. 2,500 more shares in the back today. I freaking love you too, buddy. Screenshot. I'll be doing that. Rush hour, Jackie Chan. All right, man. Oh my God, Michelle, can you turn down the AC? Yeah, it's really hot. I started dancing. I just got a little hot. Jesus Christ. All right, sorry guys. Sorry, I wasn't expecting the whole. Hopefully this thing can stay still, right? Can it? No. All right. Well, this is a weird looking camera, guys. This stage it's like a little. It's weird. All right, guys. Let me see. Sorry for the delay, guys. I had some issues. Pretty sad. So this is kind of upsetting. So sorry if this hurts, but so today this poor little doggy. Actually, God is good. We were actually not going to be here tonight, and so we ended up coming back. And apparently, this dog was walking on the property and was only walking with his two front feet. His back feet were ran over by a car. And so we by the grace of God, he met us, and we took him to the vet, and we're covering all the expenses and bills, and being able to put him into a nice home. So man, it's a very beautiful looking dog. Beautiful looking dog. Just having a bad day. All right. Okay. Let me make sure the camera works. That's for sure. All right. So I've never seen ZACKS ratings not be a sucker trap. Well, what they do is they try to get people to, the thing is with Clover, this is such a, the writing on the wall. We'll talk about Zach right now, right? I usually don't stay up this late, but since I'm awake, I might as well try to stay up and I appreciate you, potential to splatter. Al, please tell us we're blasting off soon. We're not. I'm just kidding. No, I think we are, and I'll explain. If we don't blast off soon, Rafiki is gonna get freaky. Freaky Rafiki. Too late for that. I'm still sucking toes. Okay. All right. Let's see here. If Al were to die, my portfolio would turn to shit. No. Don't even jinx it. No, knock on wood. Knock on wood, guys. Whoa. I knocked on wood. We are good. Which wood? Your wood? I'd legit be sad if something happened. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it. Life is tough. Usually the good die young. That's a hip hop song, right? So kind of going through all these things here. What's going on? He'd be late to his own funeral. Let's see. Oh yeah, appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Going to the comments. Yeah, no, I had to. Yeah, sorry about. I'll be on that. Some Chris Tucker, right? Yes. So now we have a lot to talk about. I was gonna come on a live, but the dog and everything was, I had to take. What am I gonna do, right? It's another soul. No mom, no dad. Beautiful. It was like licking me. It was like, can you please help me? And it's in the AZ heat, Arizona heat. So I couldn't even. I got my coffee. So a couple things. So overnight yesterday, we had a pretty bullish news from Donald Trump. Secretary Besson, they went ahead and signed a 90-day extension. I believe was it some 90 or 120-day extension, and they're going to reduce tariffs on others' goods. U.S. tariffs dropping to 30% and Chinese tariffs to 10% as part of the 3-month effort. So I guess it's 90 days to ease the trade tensions going on. Tomorrow's the CPI report, and we do believe a V-shaped recovery is intact. What I want to focus on a little bit is, haven't you realized that Donald Trump has been giving trading stock signals? I mean, like, it's almost like you don't need a Bloomberg terminal anymore. Just follow Trump terminal, right? I mean, he did say on Friday or Thursday or Friday, buy stocks now, buy stocks. And well, if you listened, everything's up. Obviously, Clover's not, because Clover's just doing its thing, right? It's like the spin on that thing, right? So Clover's doing its thing, right? So it's understandable. But he did give a signal, and he gave another signal, I think. And I wanted to send this to you guys. So tomorrow is a CPI report, and if you go to Truth Social, Trump said drug prices to be cut by 59%, plus gasoline, energy, groceries, and all other costs down. No inflation. Love, DJT. And he sent this at the morning, and tomorrow's CPI, as tomorrow's Tuesday, could this be he's pretty much basic? I mean, this guy, it is so sad, because, like, if you could see how easy it is to give out these signals, here, let me see what's going on here. Is this still following me? All right, can we not follow me? Okay, we're good. All right, good. It was getting a little annoying. I was getting a little dizzy here. Okay. All right. So now that this camera stopped, I figured out how to do it. Donald Trump, he's been giving out trade signals, and it's a shame, because you could see how these, politicians that, they give out handouts almost, and he's really cracking the system and showing us, the world, how this is, how people are, how easy this is to make money. And he pretty much said no inflation, and I feel like he's kind of almost giving us the CPI report in advance. And yes, the president knows the CPI report before, so I think potentially, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think tomorrow's CPI report may come down light. Now, let me just drink some coffee. Now, if with my 14 years of experience, I've never seen a president do this. So, this is new, but hey, it's a signal. So we're going to go ahead and use it. Okay. So I think tomorrow's market's going to be pretty good. So we'll see potentially CPI, and we'll see what it does from there. So we'll go there. So in terms of odds of a U.S. recession, you could see in the past week, the odds have literally went from, well, that's the past month. They went from a high of 66, I guess you could call it percent chance, all the way to the low of around 39 cents, now kind of at a 41% chance. So you could see the odds have dropped, right? And that's because of the deal, right? So there's that. In the morning, we were up about $56,000 this morning. And then later, we became down 9,300. Oh, and plus, more. We lost what is it? $70,000. So obviously, today CLOV didn't do as well as what we might have expected, given the overall market. But I want to say something though to that. It was down 1.14%, right? You see it here. It's still up 10.86%. Now the SPX is right now around 0.42, so it's about break even. So we're going to talk about that, but if we have just the opportunity, let's just look at it. So we kind of have a little gap here now, so we'll see if we're going to consolidate. There's a bit of a gap here, if you might say. But again, gaps don't have to full necessarily. But you can see now we're over that 200-day Sybil moving average. So I'm very excited about that. And obviously, I don't think this does. Maybe it does do Ethereum. Yeah, excellent. Let me just double check, guys, because I don't do crypto. So let me just let me just make sure, because I don't want to give you any bad information. Is this crypto? Okay, this is Ether. Yeah, this is Ethereum. All right, good. So why am I talking about Ethereum? Like, what has Al gone crazy? Like, why is he talking about this? Well, let me explain. So, let's just go here and let's kind of put this here. And I'm not too sure. There's like a little thing. I'm sure I could do this, but let's kind of figure this out here. So overall, how do I explain this in a way for my value folks to understand? All right, so how like Bitcoin is like the larger crypto and it's like the big one. Bitcoin is a prognostic indicator to the S&P 500, right? So what that means is that if I see Bitcoin going up, I'm like, okay, that's risk on. So I assume the S&P 500 is going to go up. And just like how like the M2 money supply went up, I told you it went up, and then 10 weeks, I said 10 weeks, Bitcoin will go up because the M2 money supply is before, like it's like predate, like it's so the M2 money supply is prognostic for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is prognostic for the S&P, right? So you can see how you can use these data points to kind of figure out where you're at, right? So why the hell am I talking about Ethereum? Well, Ethereum is rallying right now. So what a lot of hedge funds now and what a lot of folks are looking at is now they're corresponding Ethereum to IWM, which is kind of weird, isn't it, right? Looking at Ethereum and IWM. Now, let's see if we could let's see if we can do something here. So IWM is small caps, just to make sure we're clear here. Okay, so let's look at Ether again. Is this Ether? Let's remove IWM. Yeah, I put the wrong one. Let me make sure we do this here so we can give you the right information. Because I don't really do Ethereum, but this is a pretty good data point to use. Yeah, there it is. All right, good. All right. So as you can see here, guys, here's Ethereum. I'm gonna make sure I want to double check. You could see Ethereum and small caps are in line with each other, and you can see how one's prognostic over the other. So I think as Ethereum starts to recover, you're slowly going to start to see IWM recover. And the fact that, because Ethereum has been in a downtrend, and it started this downtrend back on December 12th, right? And if you look at IWM, its peak was November 25th. And then it started to bring it down and consolidate. So I would say, since we're starting to see these rise, especially these small caps, a lot of institutional investors are looking at this as a prognostic indicator for small caps, which is kind of interesting, right? So that's, again, this is something new. It's a bit interesting, kind of odd, but people have weird things, weird similarities. Ethereum is a lot smaller than Bitcoin, so somehow it's a correlation does not equal causation, but that's what it is. That's what they're arguing. Let's see what else. So we talked about this. A new article from Seeking Alpha came out. Clover Health stars are aligning for gap profitability in full year 2026. His price target is $5.30, raising it. Obviously my price target's higher. He's being obviously safe with his analysis. In terms of, it's interesting, in terms of like profitability in 2026, I actually think they might get the profitability this year. So we'll see. I did that calculation. If you guys haven't seen it, I recommend checking it out. What else? So it's unfortunate, but we were, just a few months ago, we were up we're at 1.42 million. Now we're just a couple days we're at 1.175 million, and then now we're down. I find this interesting because here are a couple of things that I want to kind of put together, and then I'll go ahead and I'll show you the data in correspondence to what I'm saying. Okay, so these are kind of the things that I'm thinking about, right? So we already have this deal regarding this extension with China and dropping down the rates, so that's already in action. So that's actually really good. That's happening, right? That's makes me happy, and obviously the market's happy. Then you have a drop in the pharmaceuticals in terms of dropping the drug prices to 30 to 80%. That's actually pretty huge implication, because if we drop it, and by the rule of most favored nation policy, it suggests that the lowest paying nation ultimately we're going to be paying at that price. So, pharmaceutical companies are going to probably have to start raising prices in those lower area countries. It's sad, but they're going to have to. But ultimately, they will lower the prices of pharmaceutical drugs in the United States. And if you were to take the basket of CPI as a whole, it constitutes around, I would say, 1.3% of the whole basket total. So if you were to get a 50 to 80% drop, you would get a 0.5 to 1% drop on the CPI, which obviously will go down way below 2%, which then will cause the it'll cause CPI to get holy shit, will it go down. And as someone in healthcare, kudos to you, Trump, for doing that. I mean, I appreciate you. Dude, drop those drug prices, man. Freaking cheers to you, dude. Hell yeah. I mean, again, I'm independent. I swing both ways, right? Right. I'm just kidding, right? I swing both ways, guys. And, ultimately, if somebody's doing something correctly, then, why not? Like, good job. Like, I haven't seen anyone do this. Strong freaking, obviously other people have, but like, let's see, get it done, right? I've had many patients that can't afford freaking medication. It pisses me off. I can't do shit. Can't do anything. I feel so hopeless as a medical student. It's like, what it's like you try to help. You go to Good RX and all these things. I feel like, if you guys don't know, I have 3 undergraduate degrees. One of them is in sociology. Before this whole medicine thing, I wanted to be a social worker. So I was in my sociology, and then I started doing some social work, and then I went there, and because I received food stamps, right, at the time, right? So I went there, and then I was like, okay, well, this is where I got help. This is where I can give help. So I tried to, I tried to go there and everything, and then I saw that these people are just following a policy. And I was like, what? These people are not the kind of bankers. Like, they don't decide who gets what. which I thought they did because I was on the receiving end, so I didn't know any better. The point is then I decided to do medicine, and then now I'm looking at it and I'm realizing doctors don't really get to decide either. Then I realized I'm like, who gets to decide? Where are the powerful people? And I was like, oh, it's Wall Street. Okay. Well, I created this platform to give the biggest middle finger to Wall Street, right? Yeah. If other people have the same data as you, we'll destroy you, right? Because we'll find the companies before you can, right? Anyhow, side topic. Interest rates down, small caps up, pretty much. That's it. Does Al teach you? Wait, is it Al or AI? Is AI teach you all covered calls and cash secured, or Al? Al or AI? Sometimes I don't know the difference. No, for real. So you hit on two. I'm gonna answer both questions because they're both important, right? Right. So right now I have a channel where I give updates on when I do a covered call. Oh, Al. Well, I mean, I'm gonna answer both because I think both are good questions. But I'll answer yours first, then I'll answer, I guess, mine. So yeah. So I have a channel where I pretty much go ahead and talk about what covered calls and what cash secured puts I'm doing, and kind of why I'm doing them. And that's channel, right? And then obviously the lifetime members are doing it, and of course B Rob has just kind of taken his own path to the mountaintop. He's kind of doing his own thing. He's like Al, rocket ship. He's got to do an actual. Where's the camera when you need it? Is it working? No. Can you work for me? You got it? All right, you got it. Good job. It listens. Okay, good. Anyhow, so yeah, so we have that, right? Sorry, I'm like ADHD today. I'm sorry. So we have that, right? And then we're gonna have the course platform to essentially teach you deeper on kind of what those are and what they what it means, right? Obviously straddles and all these other things, right? And so there's that, right? And then ultimately, as I finish off code, because I'm coding all this, I'm going to end up, having the Zoom sessions that are inside only, obviously exclusive to lifetime members, and where we're going to come together, and in the future, and I'm just kind of give you the direction of kind of where this heads. And by then, the lifetime access will be more expensive. In fact, you just reminded me about talk about lifetime access. In the future, we will be having a Zoom call, and we're going to be doing it in live market hours. So it's going to be when Wall Street opens. We're going to be on a Zoom call, and we're going to be talking stocks. We're going to have our terminal, and we're going to be like, oh, what cover calls we want? What is this? What is that? Which one should we do? And ultimately the whys, and it's just going to be a supportive community, because that's the next step, right? I mean, you get a stock, you like the stock, and then all of a sudden, you go in and you you do cover calls and cash secured puts, and you make money off of that, right? Does Michelle know you swing both ways? Yeah, no, she's with me. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I do not. I just swing one way, and that's towards the Lord, right? All right, but it's always fun. So Trump is absolutely the people's president. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at this right now, and I want to say, if he is able to do this, then that's a big deal. So 334 next support, can see a retest to 92, though a lot of insider selling. So you know what? I'm going to stop what I'm doing right now. I'm going to focus on this comment because there's a lot of I've seen a lot of these comments before, right? So let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that maybe you might not know, actually, right? Because it's like the Rocky movie. Let me tell you something you already know, but I don't think you know this. So let me just tell you something. So can I ask you can I ask you a question? RWK, please. This is just purely a question. What do you mean by selling? Who's selling? Hmm? Can you tell me who's selling? Let me open up this form for who's selling. Huh? What's going on? Huh? Right? What's this? Do, 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 do. Give me a minute, I'll tell you. How about this? Let me help you. Andrew Toy. Andrew Toy. You think Andrew Toy is selling? You think Andrew Toy is selling, my friend? The RWK? You still there? Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. All right, let me see here. All right. So you think Andrew Toy is selling? Is that what you think? All right, we're going to take some time on this, guys. This is important. Let me just zoom in a little bit here. So here it says Andrew Toy. Okay. Here it says that today he, amount 85,535, price $3.75. Exactly. Karen, Conrad, Y. Brady, Jamie L. Peter, Brady, Andrew Toy, Clinton is the only one not selling. So let me explain to you something. Let me educate you. Okay. So first off, you're wrong. Let me explain. Because many years ago, I too thought of this as selling. So first things first, this is a code. This is a code F. Okay, code F. This is a code F. Okay, what does the F stand for? Right? Here are all the codes. Code F is payment of exercise price or tax liability. Now, we go down to the green, explanation of the responses. Wow, geez, I love explanations. Let's read the explanations together as a family. Represents shares of Class A common stock that were automatically, withheld to cover tax obligations upon the vesting. On May 8th, 2025, 6.25% of the original number of time-based restrictions RSUs granted to reporting person on August 8, 2022, and the timely report of the Form 4 filed on August 10, 2022. The remaining RSUs vest quarterly in equal installments of 6.25%, with a final vesting date occurring on August 8th, 2026, subject to continued services of the reporting person on yada yada. Okay. So when you sell, and it's selling either way. All right. Okay. All right. So this is a automatic process, right? Because there is a tax that is this thing following me now? What's going on? All right. It started blinking, so I don't know the camera. So this is a certain percentage is for taxes. Okay. And what Clover's doing, we talked about this, right? Remember? We talked, if you haven't watched the video, I recommend you do, right? We said that what Clover's doing is instead of these shares being sold, they're added to the treasury, right? They're added to the treasury stock, right? And then what Clover's doing is it's paying its own cash out, and it rather keeps the shares, right? So this is not normal selling, if that makes sense. They're actually bringing it back, and you can see that from the treasury stock. Okay, so I recommend watching that. Right, again, but he'll bring the price down. That's okay. The lower I can get better. Again, your perception of the reality is distorted. Your logic is not correct. Again, this is what I'm telling you is correct. But again, you could you could tell somebody till they're blue in the face, but right, right. So it's an automatic process, right? So what ends up happening is a lot of retail investors who don't know business and who do not know, and again, this might be the first company they invested in. Who knows, right? They ultimately will, think this is a bearish. And if, let's say, you go to Robinhood, actually, let me see. I guarantee you, this is. I mean, I haven't checked. I can almost assume Robinhood is probably reporting this as insider selling, right? But it's just let me I could be wrong. Let me double check. Let me see this. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I get it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good. All right. Watch this. Okay. So as you can see here, this is the insiders for Robinhood, and you can see the insiders are selling here. And yeah, so it's reporting it, but again, you gotta dig a little deeper, right? So it's for tax reasons, and actually Clover's buying back its shares through the treasury stock. But the only way you're gonna understand that and do that is you have to dig deep into the balance sheet. That is not on Webull, right? It's not, right? You have to dig deep. And to look at that. But again, I wanted to spend some time on that and massage that. Again, I could say it to maybe 10 people, maybe 2, 3 people are going to be like, really? That's interesting. Maybe I need to learn more. Probably the rest are going to say, no, it's still selling, and they're just going to stick to their things. And that's fine. That's okay. The world is diverse. It's beautiful. And we need people like this, because that's how I make money on these types of people, right? That's what's this. We need people that are misinformed. I mean, I'm trying to help with the misinformation, but sometimes even when I say something, it just doesn't work, right? It's okay. Um, let's see. Good evening. I just came across your channel. YouTube suggested it. As I was looking options. Can I ask you, how long were you trading? Have you done this professionally? What are your returns like? And also drawdowns, and how big of an account is needed? So first off, Jay Lenz, I appreciate you joining. I appreciate you. First off, I'm not a professional. Number one, I am not a financial advisor. Um, I'm not a stockbroker. Uh, think of me as someone who is in his basement, right? Think of me as just someone on the street that's trash. Just, is it following me again? Jesus Christ. That's fine. The camera, right? So can you stop? Okay, good. It stopped. All right, because it makes me dizzy. Yeah, Jay Lenz. Think of me as just some guy on the street. I so there's that. In terms of returns, so I have a 15 million dollar portfolio, but I also have this one here. This one here is this is going to be the public account. Yeah, that camera's acting. I just got the camera. It's like this AI feature. So Jay Lens, this is the public account. The 1 year is about 101%. It's up 546,000. Just a few months ago, it was up 1.4 million dollars. So it's been pretty good. We're gonna end up taking this account and being able to do covered calls and cash secured puts, utilizing our premium stock terminal. I have a software that I created, has over 2.5 billion outputs of institutionally gated data. The software is actually nested in the educational platform, and it's an educational platform, and that's it, right? And the point is how can we use the data from an educational format, and then be able to, discover and see any patterns, right? So so there's that answer. I don't I'm not going to promise, like, I'm not going to say, you go here, you're going to get crazy returns or anything like that. That's not me. I don't like to hype. I'm already wealthy. So my goal is, Jay Lenz, if there's one thing that you come out of this channel, you basically come out understanding what intrinsic value calculation is. You could say, you know what, you know, if you don't know what intrinsic value is, if you walk out of this channel knowing it, then I've done my job. Because then, if you're for the people that are hungry, for the people that want to learn more, there it is, right? Mhm. Ken, do you ever trade options on margin? No, I do not. I do not use that as a leverage. I'm sure, knowing my experience, I probably could have, I probably could maybe have made more money, but an extra $5-10 million is not worth the risk if I end up losing at all, right? So I don't practice margin. I don't look at margin. I stay away from margin like staying away from a dog that has rabies. Okay, so that's and I learned that from reading The Intelligent Investor, right? So cheers to that, right? Again, my way of doing this takes time. Yeah, we have some crazy returns, but that's just because the stock was undervalued. But my way is the long way, but because I'm trying to invest in companies that are good, that make money, and if I can catch a company that hasn't made money yet, but I can see it's going on that trajectory. And for Clover, it's quite easy because the MCR was freaking 85% from 110%. That's how I knew that its MA advantage was gold, right? So that was pretty much easy money. Mm-hmm. But most people don't know what MCR is. The thing is, they don't even know how to calculate it. They just expected the company to calculate it for them. But as you saw in my other videos, we calculated it. So anyway, to answer your question, Jay Lenz, I hope that was good. And then, how big of an accounting is needed? I don't know. I wouldn't. I always tell people, 50 to 100K is good, but I would say for people that I would say if I was to basically talk to myself, and I would say, you know what, man, save up 50 to 100K. Until then, invest in yourself and learn, just how the market works from education. Just learn. If you don't know if you don't know what accounting is, if you don't know what a balance sheet is, statement of cash flows, net income, if you don't know these terminologies, deferred revenue, earnings per share, right? Discounted cash flow statements, perpetuity growth rate. If you don't know any of these, then you should not be in the stock market. You should not be. You should invest in index funds and stay away from the market, right? Again, this is not your typical YouTube channel where we're going to go ahead and say, we're going to be like, hey, hype. Again, this is not what I'm doing here. I'm trying to create a community in the lifetime access where we're going to be able to grow like old money type wealth, and we can basically come together as a family and enjoy life. Right. Let's see here. Oh, I was a financial advisor after I graduated college. The expectation was to sell everyone whole. Oh my God, really? That is so true. Potential to splatter. Yeah. So you said I was a financial advisor after graduated college. Yeah. I heard about this. They like to sell whole life insurance. I know. I heard those are terrible. Let's see. You can't. The thing is, listen. At the end of the day, do you ever trade options? Got it. Okay, I already answered that. I have to answer your question in terms of, listen. Let me just make this. Damn! I just put my hand out. I think it just thought I. Oh, it's back to following me. You damn you, computer. Okay, so whatever, man. Follow me, whatever. Oh, okay. So, sorry guys. I lost my train of thought. If you don't know how to turn $1 into $2, then you shouldn't be invested in the stock market, right? Right. If you could just trade with $1 or $5, if you don't know how to turn that into money, then you should not learn. You get what I'm trying to say? I guess what I'm trying to say is you got to learn how to make money in the first place, right? And how do you learn how to make money? Well, you got to learn how money works. You got to learn that you can't invest in AMC when the revenues are going down and net profits are going down, And you know what I'm saying, like net income's going down. You can't invest in companies like that, right? Because if you do that, yeah, maybe one might turn around, but the rest is, you know, shit. Yeah, it has to be improving. Oh yes, Fund was also available on Yahoo Finance, on Yahoo, and that makes it. Yeah, so the fundamentals on Yahoo Finance are unfortunately not as good. We have we have our own platform that has this really great data. So we're like a data platform and an educational platform. We don't give any financial advice. We don't do any advisement, any advising, any of that. We go ahead and, you know, the purpose of this YouTube channel is to show you kind of how I'm looking at the market and kind of just my approach of what's going on. It was bogus, wasn't the best interest of the clients. Absolutely. It's a shame. Potential morals lead me to quit. No, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I agree with you, man. So, okay. So with that said, enjoy the channel, Jaylen's. Again, this channel is just, it's just real, man. There's no bullshit here, right? There's no bullshit. All right. So we're down 16% on the VIX, which is great. Year to date now, we're only 2.57%. So we were up really high. The VIX is slowly coming down. So I'm very excited for that. There's that. We talked about this in a former video. Earnings per share, you know, interestingly, one analyst says it's going to be profitable, and we did the calculation for earnings per share ourselves, and we came to the same conclusion, which is quite interesting. So I think, you know, we're saying that potentially they're going to be profitable this year, which is crazy because that's going to hit the cash flows statements, which is pretty damn good if you ask me. Now let me explain something here. This is actually really funny. So this is the AAII. This is the, you know, individual investors, right? And these are the bears. So you can see the bears are actually still bearish, right? So individual retail investors are actually still bearish. And it's kind of funny because, you know, you think that, you know, oh, maybe these people know something, right? Maybe these individual investors, you know, retail investors, right? Maybe they know something that I don't. Well, let's track their performance over time, right? So if we go ahead and track the performance and we look at this and we see this down here, we could see this 2024. We could see, yeah, it's quite funny. It's quite funny. You know, they were bearish when the stock dropped, but let's see time points when the stock, okay, the stock dropped here. Were they bearish? Oh, they were. Oh, it was a great time to buy. So probably we should buy when these individual investors are bearish, right? Because obviously stocks started to rise after that, right? And as they started to rise, they became bullish. The bears dropped. The bears went away, right? Because they were probably buying the dip, right? So let's see here. How about COVID? Were they, you know, COVID that dropped? What did they do? Were they oh, they were bearish. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, how about here? What was this? Oh, this was the great financial crisis. Were they bearish? Oh, hell yeah, they were bearish. Almost to the same degree as now. All right, how about this crash? Oh, bearish. Okay, right? So the point is, you know, well, I'm going to draw this line. I'm going to see how many times have they been bearish. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 time points in history. So obviously, when I saw individual investors get pretty bearish, I pretty much went ahead and looked at that, and I said, you know what, that has to be, you know, you know, a buying opportunity. And you know, the VIX went up over 50. So I was like, you know, whenever there's that much fear, I mean, it really goes back. I mean, you know, Warren Buffett really said everything. You know, he said that when others are fearful, you are greedy. You know, it's, you know, so people were fearful, you become greedy. You know, and that's what I'm trying to teach. You know, and it's hard. It's hard when you see. And I'm going to show you a video right now that pisses me off. It pisses me off so bad, guys. I'm going to show you a video actually right now. Oh, see, got a comment here. Let's see here. Do you offer a trial subscription for your services? Yeah. So here's the thing. And honestly, I have a response for that. I think I spent like, you know, a nice, if I can recall. So we have a really beautiful testimonial video here. Shout out to Sean. I really appreciate you. Actually, both of the Seans, right? You know, Sean squared. Love you, Sean's, right? For this one and specifically, this gentleman here, just, you know, God bless you, man. Thank you for this beautiful, honest review. It's like 13 minutes and 48, you know, 13 minutes a minute. I mean, this is a wonderful review. I appreciate you, man. I want to make you proud. and I'm going to work hard every day to earn your trust and respect, and hopefully we can kick some ass together. Okay, so somebody commented here, was it here? And yeah, someone asked the same question, so I feel like it would probably be great to read the question here. Let me zoom in a little bit. What was that? What is that? That looks, wow, that looks really cool. Hey, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this video. I'm curious. Sorry, guys. I'm like, I'm kind of doing my own thing here. I love this guy. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Where do they go? Oh, I also love him too. Where is it? I like him too. Yeah, a nice man. Okay, so yeah, so JPX ones has asked me this question. Hey Al, might you ever consider trial membership as an option for perhaps to apply monthly for lifetime? Oh, hey, that's me. Yeah, I appreciate you, JP. I think this is a very good question. So I'm just going to read it because I think it's a very good response, I would say. So thanks so much for reaching out. I want to speak to you directly and transparently, because what we offer here at Al Stock Trades is not something that fits into a trial period, right? The people who join us don't come in with wealth, or confidence, or some type of advanced knowledge. Most come in with nothing, right? But they walk out with everything: clarity, confidence, and in many cases financial freedom. Some are now millionaires because they committed, plugged into our system, and refused to settle for surface level results, which unfortunately is, and I'm going to show you a video from CNBC that shows the level of surface bullshit that they have. But this isn't like a passive membership. It's not a subscription. It's a transformation. And for all my lifetime members that are watching, if you can just kind of comment down, if you believe that's what I try, this is what I'm trying to build here, right? So we've deliberately chosen not to offer trial access because what we deliver cannot be sampled. It has to be experienced fully. The level of investment, coaching, mentorship, and institutionally graded tools we give to our members, does not exist anywhere else. And that's not just like, so that's not marketing. As Sean said, the testimonial video above, we have no competitors. There is no competitors out there that are doing what we're doing, right? Because and here it is, because what we do is that hard. It's hard to do this. It's easier just to sell, data, and that's it, and get the hell out, right? But again, that they don't care about you, right? No one else is willing to put in this level of effort for retail investors, but we are, right? I am. When I say we, me and Michelle, right? That's it. Small business, and of course Linda. Thank you to our customer support specialist, right? So we don't need hundreds of thousands of users to succeed. That's not what we're gunning for here, right? We're focused on a core group of serious individuals, people who are ready to rewrite the future, not test, like the waters. So, if you're looking for a trial period, totally respect that. But this platform is for people who are done settling, people who are ready to go all in because they know what it takes to win. And so when you're ready to stop sampling success and start living it, we'll be here. So, with that, and kind of what my response to that on this, is, by the way, the monthly stock terminal is going to be phasing out. We're all going to do lifetime for that too, but it's going to be a lot, but they're all going to be kind of one-time charges. But there's that, but it's going to be, lifetime is going to, for mastering and bundle, is going to incorporate everything like it always has. But the thing is, and let me explain to you kind of what I'm doing is, when people join our lifetime access, when people join, guys, I'm fully invested, right? I'm like, I am there. I'm talking with you. It is, I mean, we have members that have been here for almost 4 years now, right? And it's gotten to a point where, they're teaching me, something like, oh, well, that's a good idea, right? The point is long-term mentorship, right? And to have a trial period, or people, let's say, for example, someone comes in, and let's say they come out, and let's say, for example, they change an email, and then they come in and they come out. That's not going to help anybody, right? And then that's going to dilute the service, and it's going to be like, okay, well, let's say I'm trying to like spend, because I spend time on these members, right? There's a lot of education, there's a lot of back and forth, And I'm aggressive, right? I'm like, explain your thoughts right now. Come at me with a debate and let's spar me with your knowledge. Okay, and then once they find deficiencies, all right, go read this chapter, come at me and spar at me again, right? This is, you cannot sample this, right? You cannot, right? And what the hell's wrong with this camera, right? So you can't sample this, right? Is this still? Ooh, yes, okay. So yeah, you can't sample that, right? So hopefully that answers your question. Yes. So AAII investor sentiment are described as contrarian. Absolutely, 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 and that's why we talked about them when the market was dipping. They're a great, way of looking at, a great time to get in or not. See, Mr. Martinez. Well, I think that we're gonna start. So actually, you give me a good transition, and then we'll go to CNBC. So I think that personally, the stock will start rising as we get closer to the next earnings, because I believe they will become profitable. Now, of course, the medical claims could start ticking up, right? Because as the years go by, people get sick, right? But I would say that maybe we might get to profitability in Q2, like we did last year. We got 7 million, profitability. So, and net income. So to answer your amazing, question here, I really like your comment here regarding the stock not doing anything. Actually, let me show you something. So, this is the mastering, and this is all the software. Obviously, you have all these things like, let me show you here. This is the financials here. There's enhanced AI analysis, but you go put Clover. It gives you. I built this. It's the Al Stock Trades platform. I built this. Has AI summaries, has enhanced AI analysis, and obviously, in some instances, generate insights, which is not available for this package. But obviously, I have it in other packages. Interestingly here, let's go to Advanced Sentiment Terminal here, ladies and gentlemen. So if you go ahead and type in Clove, and let's go ahead and type in 3 months, or let's say 6 months, or let's say 3 months. You can see now we've become very bearish and negative, and we had a signal here, and it's become very bearish right after the earnings. And if you don't recall, back when I was on, I posted this on Twitter, I went ahead and it's probably best to just open up media and just kind of, right here. Yeah, right here. So I said Advanced Sentiment Terminal is signaling a bearish outlook on the stock. Let's see how this plays out. I put this on May 8th at like 7:45 a.m. So if you were to go to Clover, if we can find like wherever the Clove, I'll just open up a new tab. If you go to like, month, May 8 was right here. And again, so this is the Al Stock Trades. As you can see, my logo is here, right? Right. May 8th, it gave a bearish signal, and we got it. And obviously, what happened to the stock price? This was May 8th, and it was giving a bearish signal even before that. But the stock dropped 747, right? 7.47%. So again, I went ahead and coded this. This uses a lot of advanced technology. It searches the news, and it goes ahead and does a very amazing analysis, and you can run machine learning analysis. So what you're seeing now, though, is the bearishness is becoming more bullish now, and you're starting to see sentiment increase. And if you run the learning machine analysis, you're starting to see right now it's mildly bullish, right? So what I believe, Mr. Martinez, is it's quite interesting. I think that we're going to actually start going up now, and and let me just kind of add this, if I may. If we go to the news here, and actually let's just kind of go here, you start to see, ZACKS, I believe, and massive turnaround here, and all these news things coming out, and this guy's grabbing electricity. He's a daredevil. He believes that Clove is so powerful and his portfolio is so strong that he reaches up to the hands of the electricity pole and grabs it because he thinks he can handle electricity, right? I don't know what the hell that means, right? But anywho, ZACKS upgraded to strong buy, right? And we can. To be quite honest, I didn't read this because I don't really look at ZACKS. But let me just go ahead, since we're making this video. Let's go ahead and read this. So I'll say if I see anything good. Clover Health Investments. Okay, I don't really. I just kind of skimmed through this. I don't see anything. Listen. Okay, what am I looking for? I'm looking for numbers. Okay, I'm looking for numbers. Numbers don't lie. Okay, some numbers here. Okay, that just talks about 1988. Okay, here's some numbers.
Earnings estimate revisions for Clover Health Investments. For the fiscal year ending December 2025, this company is expected to earn 11 cents per share, which is a change of negative 21.4% from the year ago reported number. Analysts have been steadily raising their estimates for Clover Health Investments over the past 3 months. The ZACKS consensus estimate for the company has increased 257.1%.
Yeah. So there was an analyst, and we actually talked about this. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, guys. So people, so ZACKS talked about this today, right? We made, and it's actually kind of funny. We made a video about it over the weekend, right? And we made a video about it over the weekend, and one analyst, on Yahoo, you can see them here. One analyst was saying 11 cents, right? And then I calculated it, and I teach people how to calculate it, right? And I actually calculated 10 cents, which is around $50 million. I recommend watching that video. If you don't watch it, you're really missing. I mean, you're really wasting your time, right? I recommend watching that video. Okay. It's I highly recommend. Let's see here. There's a lot of tools and information that I don't think a trial subscription of a few days or even a few months will be sufficient to give the platform a score. Exactly. Exactly. Ruby, lifetime member, right? There's so much information, and this is why it's lifetime. I mean, there's so much information that a few days or even a few months, okay, where is Nerev and Trades? And Trades has been with us for 3 to 4 years. And even he himself is like, holy shit. I keep digging in the stock terminal and I'm discovering and putting patterns together. After 4 years, I realize how powerful this is. And it's almost like you keep falling deeper and deeper in love, because you realize I'm taking 14 years of experience and I'm compressing it into this little area. And it's a strong learning curve. I mean, you come in, you look at all this data, and you're getting like 500 notifications a day, right? And I know it's crazy. It's a lot, right? But ultimately, you get used to it, and you learn, and you realize kind of which ones are and which ones, and then you have then you understand. You can read and parcelate through the information, and you also have a community that has over $45 million. Hence why it's expensive, and we were going to be raising lifetime to 10, 15, 20K, because if you have a group of billionaires, right? If you have a group of people that have $1 billion net worth, you're not going to get access with $3,000, right? You're not going to get access with $3,000, right? I'm just right now. We have a sale. It's life. Is this thing still following me? All right, good. It stopped. This is going back and forth. We have a sale for lifetime access. It's a coupon code SAS, coupon code SAAS, and $1,200 off lifetime access, right? All right. Yeah, Narav is an OG. There's an overwhelming amount of data and resources available to us. Absolutely, and even Narav is an OG. He's been there for a long time, right? And same to Clove to retirement, right? He's been there for a long time. Stock Beast, right? He's been there for a long time, and it's a lot of information, right? Was up massive. We were down. We are not following small caps or attack. Yeah, no. I think, like I said, with the sentiment analysis right now, I think that now we're slowly tricking back up, and I do believe we are going to get to a bullish momentum. We're experiencing these, November, December, a little bit here, and a little signal, and then now we got in May. So I do think we are going to trickle back up. Again, relative to the situation here, the trickle up is albeit small, but I think it's sufficient, and I think we're setting up ourselves for a massive run for Q2 when they hit profitability. Who knows? Potentially announce a partnership. I don't know. Right. So there's that. Let me go ahead and showcase you this disgusting video, because oh my god, guys, these people will spit in your face and tell you they didn't do it. These people are nasty. All right, so I'm going to show you a video of CNBC, and I'm gonna comment on it as we, do our thing, right? I'm gonna go ahead and comment on it, okay? And we'll just go from there, okay, guys? Let's go ahead and share the screen with the audio, please. Let me know if you guys can hear it, please.
For his take on the markets right now, we want to bring in Mike Wilson. He's Chief Investment Officer and Chief U.S. Strategist for Morgan Stanley. And Mike, you're basically saying this is game on. You've got a note out this morning saying you are back to your range for the full year of the pre-Liberation Day numbers you were watching.
So essentially now this gentleman, as soon as the market pretty much recovered half and the market's pretty much at break even now, so essentially this is how screwed up Wall Street is. It's nasty. I mean, I hope that you guys see how disgusting this is, right? The market literally is now negative 0.42. It's at break even, guys, right? And now finally they're saying, oh, who knew? You don't think these assholes were buying? Let me show you. Jesus.
That's right. So we came into the year probably a little bit more sort of suspicious about the first half of the year. Prices were quite high. And most importantly, the sequencing of the policy was all going to be somewhat growth negative. And now with hindsight, being 2020, it's pretty clear to see to me that Liberation Day was probably the trough for the negativity of the policy changes. So now, as Secretary of Treasury was just saying, I mean, he's saying basically the markets live in the future, and he's exactly right. That now the markets are saying in 6 months, are things going to be more uncertain or less uncertain? Are they going to be probably more constructive than less constructive? And that's before we even take into account some of the positive things from an administration standpoint that are probably going to flow through. The most important being deregulation.
Yeah,
and then tax, just, really it's resolution of the tax negotiation. I mean, I think if we can just get a bill done, right, an extension of the tax cuts, that's a big relief. Have a path for the funding of the deficits. And now, of course, the Fed potentially comes back into the picture, right? Because if tariffs aren't going to be as onerous, they can now start looking at this dual mandate again and saying, hey, the growth picture is maybe a little bit better, but if we're going to err on the side of policy, it's probably to help the growth side, then maybe the tariff side, or the inflation side, the tariffs aren't going to be as bad.
Then why are Treasury yields rising today?
Well, I don't think the Treasury market is totally settled on this, because at the end of the day, this comes down to the tax deal too, and the negotiation around the budget reconciliation. There's a lot of supply, and that's what the Treasury market is staring down more than growth and inflation. I think it's all about supply and demand, and there's a lot of uncertainty. We know a lot of supply is coming. How is that going to be funded? Who's going to step up and buy that supply? And can the Fed be helpful in that regard with either rate cuts or some other balance sheet management?
So you're looking for the S&P 500 to be somewhere in the range from 5,500 to 6,100 at the end of the year. You were thinking 5,500 was a resistance level before.
Yeah, we've kind of gone back and forth like everybody, in the sense that our first half target was always 55, 61, with a year-end target of 6,500. We were very much in the camp.
Oh, year-end to 6,500.
Yeah, that was always the case, because we viewed first half tough, second half actually quite good. We did not lower our year-end targets in this, sort of interplay that we've been experiencing, because we felt like it was getting fairly cheap. We never know the timing on that. 6,500 is still our target. We just don't know if it's December 31st or it's the first quarter. It could even come sooner if things really, play faster than what people are anticipating. But yeah, I think our 12-month targets are very much intact. The 55, 60, 100 was always a first half range. And so our view now, I feel better that the second half now, from a rate of change standpoint, can be better than what people are expecting, because the first half was actually worse than what people were expecting.
It's bizarre that would you say we've cured some of the excesses that we came into the year with?
Absolutely.
In this crazy, perverse way. I mean, the Mag 7, some of them are MAGA now, but the Mag 7 were way too overpriced. We had 220% plus years. We had multiples at, what did you calculate multiples at the beginning of the year? 22, 23?
Yeah, on a forward basis, yeah.
So as painful and I mean, a lot of people, obviously, you don't want to go through something like that, especially people close to retirement, and it's unfortunate if they sold, but it was almost cathartic to wring out some of the excesses in the market. You could be more bullish now than you were at the beginning of the year, theoretically. Yeah,
because you cleaned out exposures. The other thing we haven't talked about is, we talked about this earlier in the year, is that there was a fourth sort of negative growth driver for stock market this year, was the CapEx around AI. That peaked at the end of last year, and that deceleration and concern around AI CapEx also really played into the underperformance of stocks in the first half of the year. Now, as we look out 6 months, it's a pretty good case that AI now can become a tailwind again, because now in 2026, there probably will be spending resuming. There will be new applications. The part that really get excited about on AI is the productivity improvements that come after the compute investment, the application layers, something we've written about, right? The adopters of AI. And that's a 26 story. But of course, as you all know, markets live in the future. They're going to start discounting that in the second half of the year.
So you're bullish on corporate earnings now?
We're bullish from a rate of change standpoint. So as we've pointed out, the revision breadth reached a very low level around the same time that the tariff, Liberation Day came out.
Listen, guys. First off, let me speak for here. Okay. First off, screw CNBC. CNBC, you are terrible. You're very terrible. You're very terrible. You are very terrible. CNBC, you are just nasty people. You try to act like when the market's down that everyone should sell their 401ks, and a lot of Americans probably have sold. You're just nasty, nasty. You are just the harbingers of Wall Street, the harbingers of hedge funds, and all you paddle is to take money from the poor and give it to the rich. You guys are nasty people, nasty fake news media, right? Disgusting fake news, trash of a substance of some just bullshit that you bring on, right? So there's that. If you go ahead, look at April 7th, April 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, you go in and basically you hear a bunch of these folks come in and they basically start talking about, on CNBC, like, things are crashing. We're going to get a recession. Oh, and all these things. And they just like push back this narrative. And then all of a sudden now they're like, well, hey, who knew? Who knew that, this dip was just a error in terms of a policy error, right? A policy type error, because people were being political. They were basically trading politically. And you can see the university sentiment indicator from University of Michigan. And it's, majority of it is in Democrats, and majority of stocks are owned by Democrats, and majority of bonds are owned by Republicans, and just pure bullshit, right? And then now you have the stock recovered, right? And now CNBC is like, oh, it's a cherry rosy picture. Oh, CapEx is actually increasing. Google has doubled down. We've been talking about this for the past couple of months on the damn channel. Don't you remember? We've been saying this is a buy the dip opportunity, and a bunch of these stupid ass CNBC people deliberately. Now, if they were idiots and if they were stupid on, let's say by their genetic pool, and they just were stupid by nature, that's understandable. But what pisses me off is they were deliberately being stupid. They were deliberately doing this and acting like this, and it's just bullshit. It is just straight bullshit, right? And I was talking to some freaking retail investor out there in Phoenix, and they're saying that oh, my 401k is wiped out, it's all gone, and it's never going to come back. It's going to have to wait 10 years. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people, right? And it is unfortunate. It is really unfortunate, because like, how many times I've been in this game for freaking over 14 years, guys, and I've seen this damn shit play out every goddamn time. They go on this stupid screen time and they yell about how the market's falling and yada yada yada, and the market recovers, and they're like, well, who would have known? I did say that we were down, and I was a little extra bearish, but I hate you. I hate you so much, right? Because you're doing it on purpose, right? You're doing it on purpose, and you're basically hurting the retail investors, right? It's just so freaking nasty, these people, right? And they don't take accountability. They don't take ownership. Because they're getting paid to do this. They're getting paid. And it's so nasty. It is just so freaking nasty. I mean, you see it, right? Retail investors, the AAI, individual investors, bears was the highest since 2008. And all it is was all that could fix this is a deal overnight. Now the market's up again, and we're about to have a bull market. And then this asshole starts saying, well, we had 20% back-to-back years. Okay, analyze it. The last time we had 20% back-to-back years, what were the returns when the S&P was up 30 days into January? And the answer is about a 75 to 80% chance that we're going to get a plus 10 to 15% S&P 500 bull run this freaking year. And they just shat on that. They shat on that. Retail investors got scared and they started selling. But you know what? That's fine. It's the name of the game, right? That's why I came on this channel. That's why I'm giving you guys this data. And that's the name of the game. It is what it is. It's just so annoying. I hate this, guys. These people are nasty people. Very nasty. Some trash, man. No one takes accountability. Just because somebody's on TV, just because somebody has a lot of followers, doesn't mean they're good people. It doesn't mean they're reputable, right? That's one thing about my lifetime members, is that they know now how to sniff bullshit. They can look at someone and they can tell if someone's full of shit, right? Because that's what happens when you empower people. That's what happens when you give people data, right? You can smell a snake from a mile away, right? And I freaking hate snakes, right? Anywho, just so freaking nasty, these people. And then, look at this, right? And then you have a stocks drop, smart money buys. Oh, you can't see crap. Hold on, let me share the screen. right? Check this out, right? Stocks drop, smart money starts buying, dumb money in red, which is retail investors, start selling. And then now what this doing? Stocks are recovering. We're back to nearing all-time highs, right? We're getting closer to all-time highs. And then dumb money's coming back. Like idiots they are, they're coming back. Oh my God, I've seen this play out too many times. I just wish one time I become wrong. Just one time, make me wrong, right? I want, I need to be humbled. Make me wrong, right? It's just disgusting. Anywho, guys, it's just, so the big thing here is, you got the, President Trump, big pharma plan that could have a negative drop in, the CPI. Then you got the, shipping containers, which dropped down to, 40, 50%. And people were basically waxing and wailing. Then in June and July, they're going to drop 90%. So now people are saying that, you know what, this is a rolling recession, right? Rolling, and the market's not going to look at it because it's not really going to affect anything, right? And you're still going to have people that are going to keep talking about this because, that's just what it is, guys. It's just, if you made money by following the masses, if you think that if you follow the masses and if you make money and you will make money on that, you are wrong. Majority of people that make money on Wall Street have to do opposite of what the crowd is doing. But the problem is, how do you do that mathematically? Well, my stock terminal gives you the mathematical calculations, and you can see it within the sentiment analysis that we have for Clover Health. It says that right now Clover is about to start going up. So I believe in the next 3 months, as we approach to Q2, we should slowly start we should slowly start trickling up, right? And if you look at whatever this Morgan Stanley dude coming on CNBC, he's basically saying, what is he saying? He was saying that in 2026, we are going to be seeing the applications of AI, users of AI. Okay, who's using AI? Clover Health. What did I tell you about the market sentiment intelligence, right? Like the CIA of stock market analysis. You saw Palantir turn, again, let me show you so you guys can see, because, sometimes, people forget, and I get it. There's a lot of, life is tough, guys. I get it. Okay. So I remind you. Okay. So let's go ahead in the market sentiment intelligence. Let me show you. Okay. Sometimes people forget. All right. So here's Palantir, right? You can see, you run the analysis here, and this, you see smart money turn bullish here, and then the stock price 10x, and it took 6 to 7 quarters. Now you go ahead and type Clover, ladies and gentlemen. You run the analysis. Here it is. And, we were only 2 quarters in. So 5 more quarters were in Q2 of 2026 in August, which is exactly what the Morgan Stanley dude was saying, right? And again, for people that want access to this, that want access to all of our research, all of it, we have the SaaS sale, right? We also have Affirm. Thank you for our partners at Affirm and PayPal to allow retail investors to be able to swallow this purchase, right? So that's the beautiful part about what we have, guys. I'm just very proud of what we built. It just, there's no bullshit. And I just wish I could turn on the TV and not like I just want to turn on the TV and listen to somebody who's real, right? That's the culture I'm trying to build in the platform, right? Be real. If you think someone's bullshit, say, hey man, this is this is bullshit. Call it out. Call it out. Hey, this is bullshit. I don't believe in this. Go ahead and that's it. That's the culture I want to, because there's so much crap in the world. You know what I mean? There's so much crap in the world. I mean, there's nobody honors anything anymore, right? Even marriage. Nobody even honors marriage. You know what I mean? So just, I want a place where people can honor, just the companionship and be real with one another, right? Because you don't see it out there in the world. Everyone's trying to steal your money. Everyone wants you to sell when stocks are low, right? Anyway, I digress. So now that this China deal is happening, tariffs are going to start, dropping. So inflation expectations are going to drop. Then you have a drop in all these other things that are going to happen with pharmaceuticals, causing CPI to drop. Then the Federal Reserve comes in, drops it, then you get a drop in, interest rates. And what do you think is going to happen to small caps? They're going to go up. What's going to happen to our stock when it's profitable? It's going to go up. It's going to become a mid cap, right? Shit happens, guys. I've been doing this for a long time, and now you see it. You have 800 videos I created, and now you're like, holy shit, this guy was able to do it. How was he able to do it? Okay, I outlined the steps, right? And if for people that want to do it their own way and not listen, go ahead. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, right? If you guys want to do it the way I see what billionaires are doing, and again, I have access to some of these billionaires, right? And I'm telling you, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I learned from, right? All right, so let's see what else. Then we got this WEG breath, the breath thrust indicator. Jesus Christ, that turned positive. I mean, so many signals that most retail investors don't know about. Then you have the M2 money supply. M2 money supply went up. So now I was like, of course, Bitcoin's going to go up. Okay, well, Bitcoin went up. Well, if Bitcoin's going to go up, then of course it's risk on. That means the S&P is going to go up, right? Then now I basically see Ethereum go up, right? So now I'm going to be like, okay, well, then small caps are going to go up, right? These are all systematic things, okay? This is what Wall Street does. You could see hearing this guy from Morgan Stanley, now they want stocks to go up, right? Why? Because they bought the dip. That's why. Because retail investors sold like chickens. They sold. Right? And now they're going to make money. And then guess what retail investors are going to do? They're going to wait. It's going to drop. It's going to drop. There's going to be a recession. Oh! Right? And then all of a sudden, stocks go up all the way to the top. Right? Then what are they going to do? Right? Retail investors are going to get FOMO. They're going to buy in. Stocks are going to drop. And retail investors are going to basically buy high and sell low. It's the same stupid cycle. Right? Dumb money. That's what they called them. They called them dumb money. Right? And if you have access to the data and if you have access to the community, then you will have a vaccine against becoming dumb money. You will actually start making money off of them. Sad. I mean, think about it. For all the people that bought Clover at 60 cents, I was one of them, right? Look, for all the people, look at this. This is my 1-year return. Thank you. You made me $500,000 on this, and you also made me a lot of money on the other large account, with the $15 million account. This, I believe in the next 5 years, this will turn into a $15, $20 million account, right? Like, it's insane, right? It's what happens. Thank you for the dumb money out there that sold at 60 cents. I appreciate you for your donation. Don't worry. I will go ahead. You know what I will do with your donation? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create this platform, an educational platform, so people can, they don't have to walk in your footsteps, right? They can walk in smart money's footsteps. And again, this is harsh. I get it. Wall Street's harsh. They don't care about you, right? I'm trying to basically give you the key. And yes, am I mad? Of course I'm mad, right? Because I'm sick and tired of people getting taken advantage of, right? Nobody cares. I'm telling you. I swear. Everyone's trying to take your money. All right. Okay. So let me see here. Where are we? So we got the ZWEG breath thrust indicator. That's a rare ultra bullish signal. Once I saw that, I'm like, that's it, guys. We're gonna go up. We're going up. So we got deflationary catalyst with the pharma prices, trade tailwinds with China shipping rebound, M2 and Bitcoin correlation. We got structural healthcare gains with policy already implemented, a rare bullish signal that we talked about, the 200-day SMA breakout on the S&P 500, and strong institutional buying behavior with smart money increasing. Right? Yeah, no, we're pretty much about to cap it, guys. All right, we've been on here for about an hour and 19 minutes here. But yeah, guys, I mean, that's it. And my apologies. I get a little crazy with these lives, and but I just want to show you, how much how much you guys mean to me, and if I can just help one person, that's just, we've helped a lot. Thank God. If I want to be able to help more, I'm hungry. I want to be able to help more. Imagine all this, it just sucks. So actually, so when you're a full-time neurosurgeon now, how do you see that playing out to terms of availability? So that's a very good question. So I haven't released this and I haven't announced this yet. So let me explain again for people that are watching that are new, that don't know. I get it, right? So yes, I'm a medical student. I'm going into residency. I actually I have some really cool news to make. So as of right now, again, our platform has been blowing up, right? And there's a lot of people that have signed on that have not integrated in the Discord, right? There's also data at the Discord, right? So the people that are watching that have purchased, please understand that you're missing out on all this data. Look at all, you got short information, Monte Carlos. These are all information. In fact, actually, let me see something here. Here, let me look at this. I'll go flow. Let me look at Clover real quick to see what's going on. Well, we're going to go up tomorrow. Let's see. So algo stabilizing now. So potentially we might go up. We'll see. Sentiment though says we will. Anywho, there's a lot of people that join our lifetime but haven't integrated. So I don't know what you're waiting for, guys. I messaged I did a message to the people that haven't joined, and I got like literally the same response on a couple of them. They were like, right now I'm a little busy. I just wanted to buy it so I can lock in the price, and I'll come back later. I get it, guys. I don't want to be annoying. Again, this is why I'm telling you. This is why this can't be a trial. I really push on you guys. I really just kind of like again, you're missing out on this information. There's a lot of knowledge to be learned on the research edge. Like right now, this whole like tariff thing caused the stock market to go down and up. You could have looked at all the data I published, and you don't even have to like think. You just like read it and learn. Like, oh my God, you start learning patterns, and it's all about pattern recognition. Our stock terminal, our platform, our stock trades has blown up. We're having a lot of buyers step in. I'm very honored and excited for this. Actually, very quickly, someone just typed this in today, and it's showing that CLOV, probably the 1 day, is in the green. So potentially we may actually rise. So that is actually interesting. So we'll put it in. But to answer your question, JP, so when I'm interested in neurosurgery is I'm interested in endovascular, right? I like to go up the brain in terms of the going through the internal carotids in some other areas as well, and removing clots. I didn't know that there's 3 pathways in doing that. There's 3 pathways, right? There's neurosurgery, right? You do 7 years, and then you do endovascular fellowship, right? And then there's radiology. You do diagnostic radiology, and then you go ahead and do interventional radiology, right? Or like neuro IR, right? And then you go another way where you do neurology, and then you do vascular neurology, right? So it's pretty much using equipment where you're a proceduralist, where you cut and make an incision and go up the brain. Well, I realized that there 3 pathways are, the same length. They all take 7 years. They're extensive, 6-7 years. They're all extensive. But I will tell you something. One of them actually is better than the other, and that's something I didn't know. Even so, what I'm interested right now is I'm actually looking at interventional radiology and diagnostic radiology. It actually seems like a really good career fit. There's a lot of coding and a lot of AI that's used in radiology that really makes me excited. And also, if you're a diagnostic radiologist, you actually are able to work from home, right? So you can either work from home or you can work at an institution. And then what I've seen people do is they work from home, read images at home for a week, and then they're doing interventional radiology, depending on their practice, in the office. And sometimes they work 2 weeks out of the month. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me I can go up the brain, I can remove clots, and I can also, by the way, go to the liver, burn up some cancer there. I can, go suck a cloud out. You go like pulmonary embolism. I can go suck a cloud out on the legs. I can pull out some fluid from the abdomen. I can go everywhere. Like the whole body is my vascular access system, right? So many things. And you're telling me that I can only work 50% out of the year. So what does that allow me to do? Well, it allows me to do my other passions, such as invest a lot in lifetime access. So that's where I'm basically doing. I had to make the career pivot. I was looking at it, and I think it's a pretty good pivot based off of what we're doing here. So that's why when I tell you this is a long-term investment for me, this lifetime access, and we're not looking to get thousands of members. That's not what I want. I want people that are hungry, that are there's going to be only a certain amount of people, and we have a lot have joined, but again, it's not as much as, let's say, what other, YouTubers are looking for, 400,000, 200,000, 400,000. Our platform can handle millions of people, but based off of what we have and the one-on-one that we get, you get one-on-one with me in the Discord where you can talk back and forth with me. That is incredible. And then we have the Zoom sessions that we're going to bring back. There's so much value here that we're going to have, that imagine you're in a recession and then the stocks drop and then we turn on the Zoom. We have access to the data. You have a bunch of people that have over $45-50 million of net worth, soon to be in the billions, right? Once all of our stocks hit intrinsic value, being surrounded by that type of community is unreal, right? So that's kind of my spiel there, right? And it's really cool because I'm technically working 1 week out of the house, outside of the house. 3 weeks I'm inside of the house, right? And the week I do diagnostic radiology, I'll be reading images and interpreting them, right? As a physician, of course, right? And I'll be able to it's just 8 hours, right? 8 hours, and I'll be able to after that hop on online, right? And then I have 2 weeks off, and every month, let's say, depending on how I want to work my schedule. It allows the person to be creative and be able to invent and have other passions. Right. So I really like that a lot, guys. Right. And then this will allow me, once this portfolio, the spun public portfolio hits $15-20 million, then we'll be able to go ahead. As of right now, it's around 1.1 million, right? As it hits that $15-20 million, we'll be able to do the wheel strategy. As of right now, as of right now, if I really want to, I can activate the wheel strategy. I don't want to, but let me tell you, as of right now, I can easily activate the wheel strategy right now. And we can make right now, let me see, how many contracts is that? Just on this account, not the other one, because I also have 100K in the other one. 100K shares in Clover in the other one. We'll just do this one for now. So about 3120. So based off of 3120, oh, I spelled it wrong. 3120. As of right now, we could do the wheel strategy, and we can make about, on average, $124,000 a month. Right now, if we do the wheel strategy, I can make $124,000 a month. You multiply that by 12, 1.4 million, plus or minus margin of safety of 20%, then you could call it there. But again, I don't want to do that, right? Because I believe Clover is about to explode. Why? Because intrinsic value, my data, my software. I follow my data, right? I think it's going to go up higher. And then, kind of why I'm doing this here. Well, I think, let me see. Take this, divide this out by, you take that and let's say, $124,000 looks good, but let me show you something. What about this? Which one looks better? Let me see.
20 million.
Yeah. 124,000 or this,
2,269,090.
or $2.2 million a month. Well, what is better? $124,000 a month or 2.2 million? Again, what we're doing is we're creating something that hasn't been seen before, right? What we're creating something is insane, right? And that's it, right? So same. I held the CCs for now. Sold on put yes to. Oh, absolutely. We'll do more if it continues down. Absolutely. And based off the sentiment here, it seems that we're probably getting towards the end of that selling pressure, right? But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it there. I just wanted to comment on that. Hope that was helpful. And let me see if I have anything else to add. I think so. That's it, guys. Well, it's always a pleasure. I appreciate you guys. Let me see this. Oh, it's still following me. Oh, wow. This thing just is locked. This thing's locked in. Locked in. All right. Let me see if I can have it. Let me see. Whoa. I can tell it when to zoom in and zoom out by saying, hey, loser. Right? Pretty cool, huh? Wow. All right, guys. Anywho, definitely technology at its finest. Obviously, this is AI, right? This is AI doing its thing. It's incredible, right? Imagine if it has imagine if it had like a bullet, like a gun. I'm sure it'll be able to get me. All right, look at that. It's like locked in on me. Right? So very scary what these Optimus machines could be. I mean, literally, it looks like Terminator all over again, right? Love you guys. Understand that I do believe that we have a high probability of being profitable this year. This is going to shake up the stock, and we are going to make so much money. And in real time, you're going to see this portfolio jump. And you're gonna be like, how the hell does this guy do it? Intrinsic value calculation. What's that? We teach it. How do you input the data and get access to the data? We have it. We supply it. We are a data software company. God bless you all. And that's it, guys. I'll see you on the next one.